Hey, what's cracking, fellas? Welcome to another video. This time coming at you with some Pokémon Shield gameplay that I'm sure you're all looking forward to. We are going for something a little different for at least this first video. As you can probably tell, this is a post-commentary, which is definitely different from the norm, but I'm hoping for this video to be informative more than anything. I don't really want to spoil too much of the story, and would rather just share what I am enjoying about the game so far, and some stuff I've learned along the way that might help you out when you're playing. So while I pick my starter here on your screen, I might as well use this time to introduce myself. You may have noticed that I am not your typical host with the most, Krakenation himself, but rather an assistant to the host. I'm just a friend of his, and I'm going to be helping out Krakenation by creating some of that juicy Shield content for his channel, since he actually doesn't have access to this game. So the name's Daniel, pleasure to meet you, and I hope you'll stick around to see where this series takes us, which actually brings me to my next point, which is that I want to create a series that you guys want to watch. So if you enjoy the post-commentary style that you'll be seeing for the rest of this video, I'll stick with this. If you prefer live commentary to join in with the reactions and surprises, I can make that happen. Or if you want to see me suffer with a Nuzlocke, I mean, that works too. So please let me know down in the comments and I will make that happen. But with that being said, let's just get right into it. So obviously the game is absolutely beautiful. I love how they can really show the personalities of each of these Pokemon just through the animations. Looks incredible. But the game threw me for a loop here right at the very beginning, right off the bat, because your rival, who's this Hop Kid, actually takes the Pokemon that's weak to you, which is different than every other time we've seen. And then his older brother here, who is the Pokemon champion, I guess, probably going to be some final boss, takes the Pokemon that's strong against you. So obviously, you fight your rival, that's all the same. Clearly we dumpster him, even though he has two Pokemon. He's no chance for your superior fighting tactics. So we beat him, and then we have to go out and chase a little sheep that ran away, a Wooloo. So we go running through the forest, we find him eventually, that's all fine, we take care of business, come back, say goodbye to mom, you know, standard stuff, and then we are on our way. So as you can see here, you can run through the grass, but you can actually see the Pokemon hiding in the grass, which is a really cool change that they've made, sort of allowing you to dodge around Pokemon that you don't want to catch and run towards Pokemon that you do. Now obviously you might get jumped occasionally and they'll just run into you because they want to they want to mess with you. But I really love the animations, it looks so clean. I can talk about a couple other changes. This might not be unique to this game, but I really appreciate how people ask you if you know about the Pokédex, or as we'll see in a second, if you know about the Poké Center. And if you say that you do, then they won't give you the whole spiel about how to identify Pokemon, how to heal your Pokemon, because obviously we already know all that stuff. And of course, that noise, it just gets you every time. It gets you in the mood to play some Pokemon, hearing that healing noise. But something that I do think is unique to this game, and I'm not positive because unfortunately I did not play Sun and Moon, but they have the name rater right here in the Poké Center. So I thought that was kind of cool. It gives you some more leeway with your name game. If you suddenly have a bout of inspiration, you have an incredible nickname for someone, you don't have to run all the way over to the name rater to change it. Another great change that I'm fairly confident is unique to this game is how they handle catching Pokemon once your party is full. So as you'll see here, I just caught Yamper, and my party already has 6 Pokemon in it. But instead of defaulting to the box, you can actually choose to keep the Pokemon you just caught and instead send one of your party members into the PC. So that's really cool, pretty neat. You don't have to keep running back and forth getting your good Pokemon when you catch them if your party is full. You can just sub him right in and he will be ready to go. Now, obviously, your rival comes back, he wants to fight you. We're not going to talk about it too much because obviously we trash can him once again, but I will say that just look at this game. Look how beautiful this is. That purple hue in the sky, all the little animations for all the Pokemon, even how the characters look, their eyes, their faces, how their clothing moves. I really love all of it. I love just looking at this game and enjoying The scenery, it's lovely. It's fantastic. It's equally fantastic to beat on this kid, even though he thinks that we don't know about typing matchups. He's surprised that we're using fighting type moves against normal types and fire moves against grass types. It blows him back. So, I mean, I get that they have to put the rival in every time, but he gets kind of annoying. He is a staple of the Pokemon franchise, and I think they include him probably just to be annoying at this point. He doesn't actually serve any purpose. I maybe shouldn't say that. Maybe someone is truly new to this game, and they really need they need the rival to inform them about how to play the game. But speaking of that, the combat interface is really nice as well. And once you've identified a Pokemon and know its typings, whenever your Pokemon is on the field, it'll say like effective or not effective or super effective under each of your moves while you're fighting them. So that's kind of a nice noob trick. If you forget that Bug resists fighting, for instance, you can look at your moves and it'll tell you if it's effective. It should say it right here as we fight this Rookidee. You'll see fight and it'll say effective for tackle and super effective for whatever this is, nuzzle. So that's pretty nice. Can help you get a better grasp on weaknesses and resistances. I know myself personally, I seem to mess up resistances all the time. Like, weaknesses I'm good with. I know it's super effective, but I don't necessarily know what's resisted, so that'll be nice, even for players like me who have been playing Pokemon for a while, and I'm just embarrassed to admit that I still have no idea what's going on. So anyways, in terms of the story, we beat the rival again, and we do this in front of his brother, the champion of the world, so that he will give us permission to compete in his sort of gym tournament that he sets up, because he's on this quest to make incredible Pokemon trainers. So he gives you the endorsement so that you can participate in his in his little tournament, the Gym Challenge tournament, and then he sends you on your way. And while you're on your way, you get the Pokemon Box link from Sonia, which essentially lets you access your Pokemon PC from almost anywhere. And then she lets you loose in what is pretty much the Safari Zone that we're used to. Just a big open area with lots of grass. The deeper you go, the stronger the Pokemon are, and you can just run around in here and get lots of encounters. As far as I can tell, I think you strictly run into Pokemon from previous generations. I don't think there's any new Pokemon milling around, but there's still some cool ones, and you can get XP if nothing else. But something to keep track of definitely is that if you go back out from where you came from and you go out past Sonia, you can talk to this woman over here and she will heal your party. And that's really nice because of encounters like this. So as you may have noticed there, this Piloswine is, quote, a very strong looking Piloswine. And he's just out in the open, not hiding in the grass, because he's not scared of you at all. And that is because in this example, Piloswine's level 33, and I think my Pokemon's level 16 or something. Something that is not anywhere near 33. So the problem becomes that I deal no damage, clearly, and if I try to run away, sometimes you actually can't. And I'm just stuck in here with this monster who's going to murder my entire party. Now, I got fortunate here, because Piloswine has Mist and Endure, neither of which particularly do anything in this instance. And then it has Ice Shard and Powder Snow. Hey, sorry to interrupt, Daniel from the future. I forgot to mention a pretty important fact here, which is that you actually can't catch these Pokemon, presumably until you have enough gym badges and you've proved your worth. So when you see these very strong Pokemon and you're encountering them, you can either run away, knock them out, or watch them tear through your entire team, whatever the case may be. Alright, thank you. Back to the video. So I managed to take it out. It still took some revives and a lot of healing, but I managed to knock out the Piloswine, and for my troubles, I got a ton of XP. And I think also lower level Pokemon get more XP as kind of catch-up XP. So Piloswine is good to take on. I think Ghastly is also good to take on because it has a tendency to curse and knock itself out, which is great. But, you know, sometimes you see a Steelix, you run the opposite direction. You're not messing with that. But while you're in here, you're going to be collecting things called Watts, which you can spend, as you saw, on TMs and Pokeballs and stuff. And there's a couple different ways to get Watts, one of which being going to interact with these Pokemon dens. And this one is a inactive den. There's no light coming out of it. In the background right now, you can see an active den. But the reason we're slowing this down is because I'm about to have an encounter with a Vanillite that has little yellowy energy playing off of it, sort of an electric-y type aura. And if you see that, that means that the Pokemon has Watts. I think you can knock it out or catch it, whichever you prefer. But once it resolves everything, it'll tell you how many Watts you got. So there we got 166, but we're going to run up here, get 300 Watts from the active den, and then you can actually go into the den and take on a Dynamax Pokemon, which is very exciting. It's sort of the gimmick of this generation. You know, we had Megas before, this time we have Dynamax. But you go in here, you can choose to go with friends, which is nice. You can co-op and team up, or you can choose to go in solo. But even if you go in solo, you still have three CPU teammates who take it on with you, because these things are kind of strong and they should be grouped up on and not taken on one-on-one. Although probably in this instance, my Bolt could handle a Pidove, especially because you can also go into Dynamax mode or do your Dynamax evolution or whatever the terminology is. You yeet this enormous Pokeball out and your your Pokemon becomes enormous. Bolt is huge, still very cute, I will say. But clearly Pidove has no chance here, 4-on-1. And it just resolves like normal combat. The faster Pokemon go first, your teammates chunk the Pidove a little bit, and then it retaliates, and in this example, it completely destroys poor Weavile. Thing gets obliterated. Your moves are enhanced when you're in your Dynamax form, I think pretty similar to Z moves. And I believe you can stay Dynamaxed for 3 turns, and then you revert back to your original form. I'm still getting used to this. I'm not sure what the building storms and increased energy is supposed to mean, but it's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I feel like I would have preferred to just see some more Mega Evolutions instead of whatever this crazy stuff is, but who knows, maybe I'll love it. At the end of the day, it's still a cool encounter, so you'll see that when you knock out the Pidove, you can choose whether or not you want to catch it or not catch it, and regardless of your choice, you still get to reap the pretty great rewards. You can see you get some berries, which are whatever, you get some EXP candies, which I'll talk about in a sec, and you get a move, so that's all really nice. And of course, if it's a good Pokemon, Pidove is not necessarily considered a good Pokemon, but you still get a Pokemon out of it too if you choose to catch it. So that is all fantastic. And once you're done in the den, it goes to being inactive, and you can continue running around and finding more. So again, the EXP candies are little packets of XP that you feed to your Pokemon, and if you collect a bunch of them, you can actually level them up several times. They're not as good as rare candies, because rare candies just give you the full level regardless of how much XP gets you there, but they're kind of like rare candies. Regardless, I think this area is really fun. You can continue running around getting lots of these candies and lots of the rewards from all these active dens, but there's still plenty of other things to do in this area as well. You can play at campsites with your Pokemon, you can cook them food, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff, but at the end of the day, you walk up here into this town, and that is actually where I left off. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm excited to hear about what you guys thought about the video, and I'm really excited to do more. Definitely thankful for Krakenation for letting me do this. It's really nice to get back into Pokemon, and I'm pretty excited about this game, so please let me know in the comments what you thought. Do not be afraid of criticism, and thank you so very much for watching. Krakenation out.